I've bought for the last month has this exact picture on it. Exact picture. What are the chances for me to get that? There's like 10 different kinds, 10 different pictures. For the last month, every single pack I bought had this picture on it. Oh man, this alone proves that I'm being frigging enslaved here and controlled by an entity that's fucking preceding me everywhere and giving me what it wants to give me. Every single pack I bought has this exact picture on it for the whole month. Now, the next time I go buy a pack, I guarantee you they're gonna give me another one, put another one in front. And it's not that I select it, that's what they give me, that's what's in front. Guys, every setting I walk into is prepped to psychologically warfare me. The person who's in that store, they get directions on their phones, what to put on the shelf, what to serve me, how to talk to me, everything. It's an underworld controlled by one entity on top that has its eye right up my ass at home. That sees what's applicable to me and give it to me outside, which is the worst for me. The opposite of what makes you feel good and feel happy. It's a new way to enslave and torture someone into a world of hell through technology. That's why technology was invented to begin with. That's the main intention of it, is to enslave us. And then through it, they have to come up with some positive things to lure us into it. Otherwise, we won't go in it. You know what I heard from that? What is it, free? Maybe they want me to go get another coffee because it's free. I don't pay much attention to those things, but I like to raise the issues on the phone. You know, I like to raise them and for you guys to realize what's happening around me, how my whole surrounding is pretty much entities bringing in applying a psychological warfare machine tactics on me. So do not look for, because I went through that phase, reaction from people's faces in terms of what you're doing. You have to understand, this machine around you doesn't exist. If you can do that, pretend it doesn't exist, not let it affect you one bit or change your mind or create doubt in you, you're on your way. And you have to pick a place that's, you know, usually in this machine, a place that's relaxing for you. Because my goal is not to also bring in all these people here. My goal is to be able to come out of it. How? To affect certain aspects of the locale that I'm in to my benefit, to my favor, in order for this evil, wicked, psychotic entity to give up its plan to enslave me. That's it. You don't want to affect anybody else. You just want to get this entity off your back in the least possible harmful way. You know? So what this entity is going to try to do right now, as long as it takes, this entity won't stop until it's forced. It's the only way it will stop. As if it's forced. So, through this, I'm really not expecting any result. You know, but what I'm doing is, see, now I look that way, I saw 3 fingers pointed. Look, that's all they do. Here, here, here. I remember when I was 6, 7 years old in Lebanon, the bombs used to land and my uncle and my dad used to come out to the balcony and I'd be standing behind them like, where did the bomb fall? One guy would point over there from the mountain, the other guy would go over there. So this is the entity that I was born in, this Freemasonic entity that used me and gave me fake parents to trap me. Because someone with no parents, you'll make up your own mind, you do your own thing, you won't listen to them, you won't, you know. So this is how you do this. You have to be patient and cold. You have to fight them with their own weapon. You can't use too much fire in this game. Because you're being attacked, you're being entrapped with a maze that's got cold in it. It's cold. It's tactical. So you have to attack them the same way. If you can't do that, you won't win. So fire is good to use, but in certain areas, in a tiny bit here and there, to put them in line, to get them off your back, or to lower the intensity of it. But that's about it. You know?
Got it.
So this is the way to do it. See, the idea is, how do I disrupt things like that? Because I'm close to them, walking distance. I could walk in there right now, everything's over. So it don't really matter where you sit, as long as you know the size of your bubble or size of the radius that's being used here. You got to pick the most comfortable place where you don't see all these annoying people walking back and forth to beat it. Today is a promo video for you guys to show you how I could turn Sunnybrook Hospital into a frigging wonderland with freaks in it. Because only freaks act this way. It's taken from the ritual realm of Freemasonry, from the inside, this setting that you see out here. It's ritualistic. Back in the days, what did they do, these guys, hundreds and hundreds of years ago? They used to pick little babies, steal them from their homes, tie them up to a table, and run around in ceremony drinking wine and poking them with needles all night until they die from torture. Not to bleed to death physically, but to die from the pain and torture. They harness, they harvest certain energies that way. It's all about energy. It's a battle of energy. So what they're doing to me is pretty much the same thing, but done on a lower scale, softcore-ish, and through a long period of time, years and years and years. This is what you see around me now, with all these implementations of noise and movement masquerading a real setting of real life. There's nothing real about this. It's the most annoying fucking thing you'd ever see. The whole time I've been sitting here, I saw nothing but weird creatures pointing and talking weird things and doing things and making noise and using machines and buses and vehicles to drive me crazy. That's all that happened here in the last half an hour. But they still think that on this level, they could still masquerade this and make it look real. Because it's not too visible to the innocent eye anymore. So that's why I don't record videos for you guys anymore. There's no point. But this is an introduction of what's to come this month. At least I've made my mark here. I have a reason to come here now. You know, because they're trying to do whatever it takes to probably find an excuse to arrest me or whatever, get rid of me. You know, they don't want that. They'd rather have me into the machine, bleeding energy out for them. But if they were forced that they can't have me strapped into the machine anymore, if I take out the tubes completely and I'm about to escape, they may want to apply that. Because you're dealing with an entity that's psychotic. They're narcissistic. These guys are the kind where it's either this way or nothing. And this was their most prized project that they've worked on. It's been going on since I was born, since 1975. And it exploded in their face. The shit hit the fan. They like to talk about shit a lot. They look like shit, so I'm going to mention shit to them. It exploded in their face, just to show them that you've done the impossible over the last 40-something years, invested God knows how much money to create this experiment, and then when the right time came, the real God went like this: wake up. I'm an living example of a huge blow into the world's elites' self-esteem and ego. That's the whole point. Is to show them that they're nothing. Even with all that power and money, with all this sneakiness, with all that technology, and with the microchip, you're still nothing. Nothing, nothing, zero. That's my message to them. They're nobodies. So you can't let them get away with this evil fucking machine. You can't. But then again, this would feel good to someone to talk about this. You can't get too worked up because this won't benefit you here. It's just words. But this is only your message to them. Now you gotta prove it to them with action. And we will. We're ready. So this is a promo video, guys, of what's to come. I'm not gonna film for you much here. I'm not even gonna sit here. It's not a healthy place for me to sit to see this all day long. I'm gonna start to pick nicer places to chill out. I like this area. It's a nice area. Let's see if it rains a lot this month, because they do control certain aspects of the weather. You see in my videos how they can move the wind. When there's nobody around to annoy me, it gets windy and the leaves start to move. I don't know how they do that with this technology through my microchip, but that's what they do. I've proved it to you in other videos. So maybe they can move it so much and make it rain. Let's see what this weather is like this month. Because creating an uncomfortable environment for me outside in a summer month like August would be ideal for them, to try to discourage me. And you know, they're gonna use that to their advantage eventually. And they're fucking around with nature, man, a lot, with everything. They're tapping their finger into everything with nature. Because they want to play God. But I'm so glad I woke up, because that's God telling them, you're nothing, you're a nobody. You could work your butt off for 40-something years, and I'll change everything for you with a snap of a finger. Take this one home. How about that apple? That's the idea. So we're trying to get these cyborgs off our back. They're cyborgs, man. Look at them. These are not human beings when they act this way. They're cyborgs. All this pointing and weird laughing, and that's not a human being anymore, you know? So I feel sorry for them, you know? I feel sorry for them. They're ignorant, misled, weak creatures that wanted to get into an entity where they can feel that they're worth value. Because from birth, genealogy did not give them value. So they wanted to get it otherwise, and they waged war on the kind that was given value by genealogy. That's what this is. Now you're gonna see more and more police and cop cars around here, because it gets hectic here. They can't close this place for a long time. But I have the kind of personality is the more I see those, the more longer I want to stay. And they know that. So you can't be tricked into it. Like I said to you, do not try to make conclusions of what happens around you. It's a very deceptive machine that's going to try to keep you in the middle, make you think this, make you think that. It doesn't exist. What exists for me here is this locale that brings in real people into it. And I want to come here long enough for these real people to be forced into it. That's it. It's very simple. That's what matters to me more than anything. No, not more than, it's the only thing that matters to me. Everything else that's happening right now, I'm blind to it. I don't even see it anymore. I mean, look at the way I'm sitting. But you have to do that. Because if you're not relaxed, if you're not comfortable and confident in what you're doing, but you'll never get to it, because there's this annoying machine is constantly trying to distract you, put you back. It's constantly trying to, insert doubt into you, all this stuff. You have to remember that. So it's theaters and charades happening around me, not only to discourage you, to distract you, to worry, to fear. This is all nothing, not even a fart. All of this. It's a non-smelling fart, no sound either. There's nothing in it. It's an empty bullet, all of this. It's a completely empty bullet. At least, no, a bullet makes a sound. This is not even that. This, I picked up an eraser and I've erased all of this shit. This doesn't exist, what's inside. What exists for me here is to stay here every day from 9 to 5 and to wait for real people to be forced into here so I can meet them. Very simple. Other than that, I don't see anything in terms of what exists around me here. Nothing exists but that. If it's gonna take a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and at the same time I'm working on other stuff too, to encourage those people that will come in here and let them know to come here. Very simple. I'm even telling you what my plan is. But that's how I like to wipe the floor with these elites that came up with this project. They hide everything. I tell them what I'm gonna do to them before I do it, and I'll make it work. Because I want to show them that they're the biggest idiots on the planet. They want to make a mockery out of my life. I'm going to show them who the idiot is now. Who the real idiot. That's the message. Just to show you who runs our world. Why do you think it's going to the shit? Bunch of incompetent people in power. They're empowered. That's it. They're using a bunch of paper, money that they print that has no fucking value anymore, never did, to enslave us. The problem is there aren't that many of us awakened to this and working together. They have us divided, dismantled, and destroyed, and on drugs, and brainwashed, and mind-controlled, and you name it, and living in a negative world that's fake, through all pumping those negative information tubes to us through the TV and everything. And running it by us over and over again in covert ways. That's how they have the whole frigging population enslaved, dismantled, demotivated, down, depressed, dim. First you divide them, then you put the mind control machine on them, each one by himself. They won't even want to come together anymore because they get so schizophrenic from each other, from all the negative information to being pumped into them 24/7 through what they see on the street, what they hear from their friend, what they see on TV. That's what it is, pretty much in the end, right? So you'll see an increase of that because the machine has to intensify. If I can't do it with noise and movement, it'll do it with psychological warfare, worry, fear, whatever, threatening. So it's doing its work, the machine now. It's an important place. They do surgeries, there's doctors, there's appointments, there's important people that need to come here. How you expose it? By doing this. Well, they're going to do the impossible. And let them, because I will do the even more impossible. Look, Enterprise Drive, $6 an hour. Look at the teasing. You guys know all I need is transportation to beat this machine. I don't have to fucking come here and slave my ass here for a month. But guys, if the most powerful man in the world comes here and scares me, I will not move an inch if I don't want to. This machine has to end. Oh, I'm surprised I wasn't given a ticket for smoking yet, or security come and tell me you can't smoke here. Or look at me in a bad way, scream at me and kick me out of here. Because that's been my history. So it's all about picking the right place. At first it may seem like the right place. It doesn't have to be. Right now with all this happening in front, maybe there is something real happening at the back that I can go tap into and I haven't. But you can't do that in this machine. You have to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture, what is it? It's staying in the locale as long as it takes, because you don't want to bother with small, miny-weeny details. It's dismantling this whole area. You're not doing it. You're coming to get off. They want to do it. Let them do it. Don't you notice something? People are not saying any word anymore when they pass by. How come? You see why I like to record long videos for you guys? Those words that they were throwing here every time. Now they're gonna talk. They're working their way, look. Because he can't get me with psychological warfare anymore. Now he wants to annoy me with noise. Oh, we got one over there. I think she the one. These people spend all day talking about women. This one passed by here 5 times already, back and forth. I think I've seen her. But they want me to notice that because they need to distract me. As soon as I looked at that guy, he went like this. So it's pum pum, tuck, 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 tuck. This machine, man. But the idea is the only way to, you have to insult the machine. You have to sit in a place where it's running, look at it straight in the face and tell it, it ain't working. It ain't working, it ain't working. Once you get to that point where you can demean that machine and insult it, you're on your way out. Because you gotta remember, they have 2 tools against you in this machine. 2. The fact that you're imprisoned and the fact that they're stressing you out like this wherever you go. You dismantle this and you tell the exit, I will last longer than you. Because for you to run this machine, you need gasoline, which is people and cars. But for me to run my machine, asswipe, because it's factory built, straight from him, I need something that I don't have to buy from the outside. Do you know what it's called, you dumb fucking piece of shit? Spirit. That's what it's called, asswipe. But do not, like I said, I repeat myself, get over emotional with this and feel that you've gotten somewhere. This game is all about tactics. You're playing chess. This is a cold ice game. The use of fire in this game could be used as proper psychological warfare too on your part, but in the right areas, at the right time, and with limited quantities. So you don't overwork yourself, let out too much fire for nothing in the wrong area where it's not going to be effective, and not be able to use the ice game with them. You have to know how to level that up. You got to have your own equalizer. I want them to run it and run it and run it, and I'm still gonna be sitting like this, smiling, smoking a cigarette. If you can't accomplish that, you ain't gonna get nowhere. You have to get to a point where you let the most brutal part of the machine make you smile, and the harder it gets, the more intense the machine gets, the happier you get. You have to be able to do that. Somehow, some way. It's the only way. Once you dismantle it psychologically, you can't dismantle it, it'll keep going. But the person who's running it, you have to dismantle him psychologically. Then you can take your place and wait and come out in time. You want to mind control people and perform rituals on them everywhere they go? So I'm getting the dirty looks now from people. Like I feel anything anymore, that I know they're fucking fake. You can't get too wrapped up with it. You always have to remind yourself it doesn't exist. You have to remember. You know what this is like today for me? I'm coming to a locale. I don't see anybody real here. I'm sitting here and waiting for them to show up. That's it. But there's nothing real. It's an empty world because they're fake. And the fact that they have you microchip, they keep on bringing in the fakeness and trying to do the impossible covertly behind the scenes in the outside to keep those real people from coming here. First to evade them, direct them to other hospitals, convince them, pay them off, make a deal here, make a deal there, until it gets to a point where this tactical machine that's working in the background is gonna drain entire, because it's lying. Lies don't last forever, guys. It's the truth that lasts forever. Eventually it's gonna get dismantled. But it's not enough. I'm not counting on this. I have to do other work on the side too to bring in certain elements into this, like that. From what I'm doing with my tactical work, whether it's on the internet or whatever, you have to use, and I'm doing a couple more things too. I haven't started yet, but I have the idea. I have them architected. So just like how they have their octopus, I got mine too, don't worry. Mine is not red, it's white. Like I said, this is not the perfect place to sit, because all I'm gonna see here today is attractive women passing by and ugly creatures and annoying creatures. But it's okay. I want to show them that it's not working. So now they're counting my cigarettes. How many do I have left? They know when they're done I'm gonna leave. That's how they calculate it. But you gotta remember, they have you calculated based on your commodities, based on the things that make you feel good and relax. And they're slowly taking them away from you, from the background, from behind the scenes, before you get to them. That's how this entity works. They know how much money I have in my bank account. I went to Gravenhurst. You know what they did to me on the way back? I couldn't record because my phone was dead. Because I told you they gave me a bad charger. Couldn't charge it. They did that on purpose. The bus driver kicked me out in Barrie for no reason. I was stranded there almost midnight. As soon as I got to the terminal, I went inside in Barrie. You know what the lady said to me? That we're closed. They closed the frigging terminal. Then I called the cops. They told me to fuck off. That's exactly what they said. Not in those words. Then I had to get an Uber because they had my money calculated. I had $80-something. I barely made it to Steels and Jane where I could take the TTC because I have a Metro Pass. I got home at like 1:30 in the morning with barely any money in my account. So now we're gonna start a cigarette war on me. They want me to be as annoyed as possible, so I'm not capable of sitting in one place for longer than 24 hours. Because we both know that this crazy machine that they're running cannot keep everything real out of the hospital for max, I don't care if they pay millions of dollars, 72 hours, 3 days. And a human being can last outside for that long with no sleep, with barely any food. But that's how easy it is to beat this machine. But you can't say that and rely on that, because they're going to do their best to last more than 72 hours. What they don't know is how long I'm going to stay here. Now with the planes, listen. It's mad. Look what happened to Sunnybrook Hospital, for God's sakes. It turned into a friggin' car ritual. Car and weird looking circus people ritual. Look at the heads on them. Not to judge human beings or anything. The reason why I mentioned that to you guys is to see that there is only one particular kind of people that are around me the whole time. They're human beings too. I don't judge people. We're all the same. They have weaknesses. I have my own. I'm not against them. I'm against this evil entity that's using them and pinning them against me to deprive me of a real life that I tried to make so many deals with in the past, and I got tricked over and over again, because they're made of something, this entity. They're made out of trickery. They had to be tricked in order for them to join this entity in the first place, in order to be able to trick other people. Otherwise you can't. If you're not tricked to begin with, you can't trick anybody. That's how it works. Now, I try not to use too much energy. I learned that. I learned my lesson over the past week. When it comes to anything, do you know what they do to me with the buses when I leave my house? They specifically time it that 2 buses pass in a row before I get to the intersection, so I have to run. And I don't. When I don't run, I have to sit there and wait another 10-15 minutes for the other bus to come. All done through my microchip. That's how they could time it so perfectly. Or they can't. It's impossible. It's a program. So I sit there and wait. Now, when I walk to the intersection, I don't even look for buses anymore. I see blank. Because taking into consideration that I just saw 2, then I didn't run, that I have to sit there and wait, psychologically and emotionally, that's a weapon. It's draining you of something, of your energy reserves. So I see blank now. I go sit at the bus stop comfortably. I don't let the bus change the way I walk or how fast I'm gonna get there. I ain't gonna work according to the machine. I'm gonna make this machine work according to me. I'm the one who controls it, not it. And I've proved that so far, but I haven't grabbed it by the horns yet and took its tail and shoved it right up its butt. And that's what's gonna happen in the end. It's coming very soon. I'm tickling the tail now. Just how they try to tickle me everywhere I go. More than anything, I don't care, you know. I just want to come out of this machine. That's all I want. So this idea comes out of the mind of someone who's not a real boss in real life. He wasn't born that way. He doesn't possess the genealogy and the tools to be a real boss. That's the reason why he's desperate to be one. Otherwise, he won't be desperate to be one. Guys, human beings, if we can get what we want, we don't give it that much value. We always want the things that we're not designed for by birth to get. We're dying for those things because we can't have them the easy way. So the person who tries to play God like this is the one who's the lowest of the human race, and has acquired over the years a certain kind of knowledge and information about a certain science and a way to grab people by the throat in terms of, why did this guy say bye to me? Grab people by the throat in terms of with money and with this mind control realm, and created this ugly machine where he can sneak in a microchip into someone who's got all the tools to do great things for humanity, and brought him into this nasty underworld where he can run a certain machine of noise and movement and psychological warfare, masquerading as a normal setting with cars and people doing normal things. This is exactly what this is. This is what you're surrounded with. You know, this is what you're surrounded with. This is what this is. That's what this machine is. He can bring in as many people as possible that look like doctors and wearing tags. He can bring in what's his face? I keep forgetting this prime minister's face. He's funny looking. Trudeau. It won't change a thing. I don't see anything anymore, guys. This is blank. I don't hear anything. I don't see anything. All I know is there's this establishment. I came here to see real people. I found it empty. I'm waiting for them to come. And in the meantime, behind the scenes, all the necessary actions are going to be taken for these people not to come here, to go somewhere else. But they're doing it in a way where they can't tell all of them what's really going on. That's how I win eventually. From all the weird actions in the background, the strange things, those real people are going to start to ask questions. Why is this happening? This is the point that I want to happen. And then after that, the doors will open here. And then this blankness that I see will become living creatures that are warm, that are not programmed by a computer to come and point and cough and fart and shit. That's the machine I live in. Now, since they've stripped me of all my capabilities in order to be right around here 24/7, just live here, because it's finance or a car or whatever, I'd have to do it tactically and at certain times that are the most effective. I can't sleep here or around here or go to a hotel. That's exactly what's going on here, guys. This is what they've done to me at the airport on August the 1st. In the afternoon till 6 a.m. August 2nd. This is what they've done to me in Gravenhurst. When I went there on the 5th. What was it? The 5th, yeah. And that's what they're doing here today. But then if I keep jumping from one place to another, it's easily you could get people out of there for a day, 2, 3, 4. It's all about living in that place every day from 9 to 5 and doing other things at the same time. Or I have a better idea, which I will implement very soon, because I'm not ready to come here every day or spend the whole day here. So, and working on other stuff too behind the scenes. It's all work. And I haven't been doing it properly yet in terms of giving it 100% of what I got. I'm still dismantled in a way. I have a lot of things that are putting me back, you know?